Good evening, scrappers. How are we doing? Just doing a little bit of cable stripping at the moment. And I thought, well, while I'm downstairs this evening, stripping a little bit of cable, feeding it through the machine anyway, and we'll peel it maybe tomorrow. I thought, well, while I'm at it, how about I just give you a little bit of a demo of working out your copper to plastic weight ratio on your cable, so that way you can decide whether it's worth stripping the cable or selling the cable as it is with all the plastic on it. So bear with me while I just keep on feeding the wire through here. I'm trying to get this stuff done. I may have mentioned on other videos that Wednesday is my Friday. If it's a public holiday, then it becomes Thursday. If it's a public holiday on a Monday, well then Thursday's my Friday. But every normal day of the week, Wednesday is my Friday. So from Wednesday to Sunday, from Thursday to Sunday, I'm off work and I'm operating the scrap business from home, obviously, because this is where we work from. Just me and the wife, working from home, going around, offering them our mobile pickup service of collecting copper and cable and air cons and all the like. So yeah, we've got to do that tomorrow. Just feed this through and then we can get underway, eh? All this cable here. Lovely. Lovely to strip. You may have seen me hold that cable as we're feeding it through. That's just to keep it straight. I mean, it's not really necessary, but at times it can kind of run off course and run off the cutter. So I kind of hold it there, keep it nice and firm and straight, and off it goes. So anyway, this is what I'm going to show you. This particular cable, and I'll turn this off. This particular cable right here. Now they call this TPS cable, okay? It's got your 3 bits, your 2 chunky bits on the outside, and you can't quite pick it up, or maybe you can just, and then you've got your little skinnier bit in the middle. So, for me, this particular cable is worth stripping, and I'll show you how to work out the copper to plastic weight ratio, so that way when you do have your own cable and you're deciding is this stuff worth stripping or not, you can just do your own little test, and then that way that will give you the result as to whether it was worth stripping or not. I've seen, oh, there's me ugly head, how you going? Hello. I've seen a number of videos in the past where they're talking about is cable worth stripping or not, and on a couple of those videos it was an extension lead that they were using as the test piece. Personally, I don't recommend stripping extension leads or the power cords from appliances. That's me personally, okay? I'm not really interested in those. For one, extension leads, they are coated with a heavy insulating plastic, and once you start removing that, basically the bulk of all that weight is gone, and you know, you're probably going to end up losing out. So you're better off leaving that heavy duty plastic on and selling those extension leads as they are. Now this, on the other hand, and other various cables, such as this as well, XLP. Some XLPs were stripping, some is kind of borderline for me, as you may have seen in my video the other day where I showed you that thin stuff that I loaded up on the trailer, where I called that was 46% copper, and the bulk, the rest of that was just plastic. So this one here, on the other hand, I'm not sure. I will have to find out, but that is not the experiment today. I'm just going to give you a rundown of this XLP cable. What is the size of it? Trying to find it. Okay, we've got a 2.5 in the middle, and I think we're running, let's have a look, 6 mil on the outside. Alright, so I'm just going to feed this through, and we'll kind of just give you a quick run over on what to do. I mean, I'm no mathematical genius, so make sure you've got a calculator, okay, because you're going to need it. If you're really good with working the stuff out with your head, use your head, okay? But I'm on camera and I don't want to look too silly. I mean, probably look silly anyway, but it doesn't matter. Just done. Great little machine this. So all I'm going to do is, for me, I'm going to peel the plastic off first. Peel the plastic off first, so that way I've got the copper exposed, and then I'll make a separate pile of plastic, and I'll wind that up into a bit of a ball, and I'll do the same thing with the copper. Wonderful. Just peel this off. Don't mind the camera adjustments while I'm in the process. That's wonderful. It's good. Okay. Sometimes when you excuse me, when you're stripping cable, you might encounter your cable looking rather blackish. This is kind of, sort of in that sort of direction, but I reckon I can get away with it as clear. I mean, as bright, sorry. Let's pull that up there. Okay, great. Let's peel this off as well. Okay, be careful with this. As you can hear, maybe I can hear the kids in the back. Alright, let's come off. Doesn't matter. Excellent. Chuck that down there. Now this is, as I said, this is bright. And last week I said that copper prices in one of the videos that they may not move too much, but then come Saturday, I think it was, I kind of had a change of tune, and sure enough I checked the commodities and there was a pretty decent jump, so I kind of knew that this week again would be a good week to sell. So that's that clumped up there. We've got all the plastic that we stripped off that wire, all here. Just clump this up. Okay, and we'll just fold that up into a ball. Wonderful, sort of. That's better. All right. Let's bring this over here. Okay. All right, so as I said, calculator, handy, saves you trying to stand there on the spot trying to work things out, looking silly, think, crikey, what's it meant to be? So it saves me the embarrassment, okay? Now let's have a look at what's down there. Scales. These are kind of like kitchen ones, but they're pretty accurate in the way things down to the gram pretty well. So we're going to turn this on. I'll just readjust this. I'll move it back. Let's just make this a little bit higher. How about that? Alright. Great. It's alright, I'll pick it up anyway when I have to. Alright. So, turn it on. Okay. Let's just chuck that copper in there. And the plastic in here. And this thing here is weighing 362 grams. Let's just have a look at that. I'll show you there. Okay. 362 grams. So we'll take this bit of juicy bit of copper out. And we've got 171 grams. So, let's take this out now. We'll add that copper, 191 grams. So already this is telling me that that cable was definitely worth stripping. The weight of the copper is 20 grams heavier than the plastic, so that's already a pretty good sign. There are often times where the weight is a hell of a lot closer. Sometimes it's the plastic marginally outweighing the copper. Sometimes it's right there, it's a 50-50. When it's the 50-50, for me, they're worth stripping, okay? Anything that's 50-50, for me, when it comes to the weight of the copper, I deem that worth stripping. When it's kind of starts dipping under the 50-50, then it kind of becomes a question as whether do I or don't I. So, but this is already looking pretty promising. So, we'll leave that plastic in there, okay? So all I'm going to do, essentially, I'll move this out of the way, okay? And I've got to take the glove off, alright? I'll take the glove off. And let's put that down there. Turn this a little bit more. Muck around here. What have we got there? Okay, great. So essentially all I'm going to do is, we had 361 and the weight of the plastic was 171, okay? So we're going to go 361, and then we're going to go minus, say, 52.3%. Okay, so it's not quite. Okay, so we're going to go back. Okay, 361 minus 52.9%. And there we go, that gives you that. Basically, so we're looking at a weight of over 52.9% in copper. So that was the weight of the plastic. So for me, definitely worth stripping, and it'll give you some idea of what to do yourself. I'm pretty sure, I mean, we're all not silly, but in case sometimes, you know, sometimes you just need a little bit of guidance of what to do. I mean, we all can work. I mean, I had to work it out myself as well. So, but yeah, that's that. Just something as well that I'll bring over. Okay, I'll just show you something here. Okay, just show you something. I'll walk through the valley of death of cable. that there, okay? I don't know if you can see very well. Hopefully it's in focus, okay? As I've mentioned, I may have mentioned earlier, when you strip cable, sometimes it comes out looking like this. Not bright and shiny. Now, the yard where I sell, this is still classified as number 1. Clean, okay? Clean, not bright, clean. So it's your second best price. In the past few years, there were some yards I went to, and they called this burnt, okay? Burnt copper. And therefore that means you're going to get a much reduced price, and it's the lowest copper price apart from your domestic copper. But we're not going into that, okay? So we're going into burnt. So your burnt copper is, they're paying a lot lower for it in comparison to your number 1. So what happens there is the scrapyard, yep, we'll pay you as burnt copper, and then later on they'll put it aside, and then they're going to go and sell it as number 1. Nice profit margin made. Happy days for them. So you just keep that in mind in the future. Stuff like that. If your yard doesn't pay that as number 1, then you either got to find a new yard, or you better have words to them. So I'll just throw that back down there. And we'll put the camera back on me again. Alright. Fix that up. Great. Look at me. Sweet as. Alright. So, I hope that's given you a little bit of insight of what to do. It's not the greatest video or anything like that, or it's nothing exciting or woohoo sort of thing, but it's just there to try to give you a little bit of info, help you out a little bit, and that way you can decide whether the cable that you have is worth stripping or it's not. Anyway, thanks for watching, and either give a thumbs up or thumbs down, leave a comment, always happy to reply, and most of all, please subscribe. I love subscribers. Those who do YouTube, we all want subscribers. I've just tipped 51. Happy days. 51 isn't huge in comparison to a lot of people, but hey, it's a beginning. Love it. Thanks guys. Ciao for now.